First of all, name of Allah. Hi. In this CSS tutorial, we will learn about CSS Specificity. In body section, we will use heading level 2 and close the heading level 2 heading. Underneath heading level 2, we will use the element open and close the P element in between P elements. We will use dummy text just for learning. Copy, paste into paragraph, and now we will use style. In head section, we will use internal CSS, open style tag and close the style tag. In between style tag, we will use P element and open curly braces and close curly braces. In between curly braces, we will use CSS property and property value. Color, colon, maroon, semicolon. Save the file, go to the browser and refresh the page. Now we will use the two more CSS rules that point to the same element. So we will use the CSS period character use represent to class attribute P short form in test, open curly braces and close curly braces. Now we will use its color, colon, green, semicolon, and this T selector and period factor use in P element. Class attribute use equal double quotes. In between double quotes, we will use T. The selector with the highest specificity value will win, and its style declaration will be applied to that HTML element. Think of 5 specificity as a score rank that determines which style declaration is ultimately applied to an element. So we used other elements in it. Hashtag use, hashtag represent to ID attribute, D selector, open curly braces and close curly braces. In between curly braces, we will use color, colon, brown, semicolon, and this hashtag and selector used in P element. ID attribute use equal double quotes, so we will use D in double quotes, D selector used in double quotes, which we used in internal CSS. Save the file, go to the browser and refresh the page. Now we will use inline CSS in P element. So we will use style attribute use equal double quotes. In between double quotes, we will use color, colon, orange. Save the file, go to the browser and refresh the page. We have added an inline style for the P element. The next will now be orange because the inline style is given the highest. If we use heading 1 and apply CSS on heading 1 element, so we will use heading level 1 and heading level 1 and close the heading level 1 and use dummy text just for learning. Copy and paste into heading level 1 and use CSS in internal CSS use after P element. Underneath heading 1, open curly braces and close curly braces. In between curly braces, we will use background color, column, blue, and underneath heading level 1 another use heading level 1 and background color colon black semicolon and color text color change into white semicolon. Save the file, go to the browser and refresh the page. Now we will create div element in body section and apply CSS on it, hashtag views on it. After that, after p element underneath, we will use div element open, div element and close the div element. In between div elements, we will use dummy text just for learning. Copy, paste into div element just for learning. And now we will apply CSS on it and use CSS in internal CSS in style tag, between style tags. So first of all, we'll use hashtag a open curly braces and close curly braces. In between curly braces, we will use color, background color, colon below semicolon, and now we will use this background color on div. ID attribute will use equal double quotes. In between double quotes, we will use a selector and save the file, go to the browser and refresh the page. Now we will use other hashtag and a selector, open curly braces and close curly braces. In between curly braces, we will use background color, colon maroon semicolon. Save the file, go to the browser and refresh the page. Before hashtag, space, refresh the page, save the file, go to the browser and refresh the page. Div element, div and square bracket use, and use div ID, ID attribute will use equal a, and now we will use open curly braces and close curly braces. In between curly braces, we will use background color, green, and this ID use in div element as it is. Save the file, go to the browser and refresh the page. The first rule is more specific than the other two and will therefore be applied. Contextual selectors are more specific than a single element selector. The embedded style sheet is classes to the element to be styled. So in the situation,